The Honorable Lourdes A. Leangura Magahagan Guahan, Governor of Guam. Actually, Governor, please remain standing so we can sing the national anthem and the Guam hymn. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the Fanogi chamoru purita nota kanta matunanya gitoru ilugat parai honra parai gloria abibais la sempara parai honra parai gloria abibais la sempara utoru I tempo I pas parahita zangin langit na bendition contra peligro na fansafoham Zeus protect Island Guam contra peligro na fansafoham Zeus protect Island Guam. Please remain standing and join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. You may be seated. Hafide and good afternoon and happy early Easter and Good Friday. I tried to do the most subdued version of the anthems in respect of Good Friday. Thank you so much for joining us here at the Office of the Governor of Guam for the 2025, to proclaim 2025 as the year of the Veteran Count/Registry. Before we begin, of course, I do want to recognize the presence of the Honorable Lourdes A. Leangura, or Magahagan Guahan. Our Governor. Also at our table today, our delegate, James Moylan. From the 38th Guam Legislature, we have Vice Speaker Tony Ada, as well as Senator Jesse Lujan. We also have Asamaina Mayor Frankie Salas Hafide, Director for the Guam Office of Veterans Affairs Jose San Augustine. And I also wanted to acknowledge Anthony Tyron, President of HMI and the coordinator for today's event, him and his team. Thank you so much. We wouldn't be here without him and his team. Also, I do see from the Leon Guerra Tenor Administration, DOC Director Fred Berdalio. And I do see former Senator Tom Atta Hoffeding. But really the reason why we're all here today, let's give a round of applause for all our veterans and our veteran organizations. Thank you so much, and thank you for your service. For her opening remarks, I want to call to the podium Karina Balesta. Yes, let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you, Crystal. And again, as Crystal said, welcome everyone, and thank you to those watching us online. I hope we're good and we're streaming, because it is 2025, Year of the Veteran Registry and Count. Hafide, and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us today for the special proclamation ceremony declaring 2025 as Year of the Veteran Count and Registry here on Guam. It is a privilege to stand among fellow veterans, their families, and supporters as we embark on this crucial and critical initiative. Every veteran on this island counts, literally and figuratively. I've been asked as we walked in, why do we need to do this? I'm going to tell you why. Our mission today is about more than just numbers. It's about ensuring that our voices are heard and that our needs are met. By registering our veterans, we strengthen our case for increased federal resources, services, and VA facilities on Guam, ultimately leading to better healthcare, benefits, and support for our community. However, we also face ongoing challenges. The lack of an accurate count of veterans has long been a hurdle in advocating for essential resources. The VA has insisted on the necessity of this data, not just to meet bureaucratic requirements, but to serve veterans effectively. Ironically, we have seen that some areas like Chino and Chico in California had smaller veteran populations, yet received more attention and resources. This disparity highlights the pressing need for us to accurately identify and connect with our veterans here on Guam. Today, we are setting the stage to change the narrative. This initiative is particularly vital for our retired veterans who may not be fully aware of their eligibility for care through the VA at the community-based outpatient clinic right here on Guam. Additionally, we must extend our outreach to Guard and Reserve members who may also qualify for VA healthcare services. And I know someone said earlier, I have 3 insurances. Okay, that's fine. But please, register up at the CBOC because we need your number. We need you to count. So I invite each of you, whether you're a retiree, a guard, a member of the Guard or Reserve, or if you have family members who are Guard or Reserve, or a veteran from any era, to take part in this effort. Together, let's ensure that every veteran is counted and connected. Bring your fellow veterans, share their stories, and help us build a stronger, more responsive supporter system for Guam's veterans community. We will announce a kickoff event in the upcoming weeks because today's Good Friday. I'm sorry, I'm making so much noise. We have placed QR codes around the room to start the registry. We will be working with the mayors, government agencies, and the business community to find all of our veterans and get them registered. Let's take this important step together, not just for ourselves, but for generations of veterans to come. Thank you for being here, and let's make this year of the Veteran Count and Registry a resounding success. Thank you.
Sizos Masi, Karina, and thank you so much for helping coordinate today's event and all our veterans present with us. Before I proceed, I did fail to recognize somebody. Somebody is a good friend of mine, Noel Enriquez, Civilian Aid Secretary of the Army. Our class, and now for his remarks, I do want to call to the podium Jose San Augustine, Director for the Guam Office of Veterans Affairs.
Thank you, Crystal. Governor, Good afternoon, our senators, our congressmen, our mayors. Mr. Enriquez, thank you for being here this afternoon. And Mr. Tamada, thank you for being here, but more so, thank you for all our veterans that are here this afternoon. This is definitely a great show of support to what you all believe we should be doing in order to make that one voice be heard of our needs that our veterans and their family need here at home. What I want to emphasize from what Karina had mentioned is I want to extend, even though it's Good Friday, and there's plenty of good for it, that's why it's called Good Friday. When you go out and you meet with your classmates, your friends, your cousins, your students, your best friend or your kids' friends, find out whether they are veterans and encourage them to register. Register with our office, register with the community-based outreach clinic. I give kudos to HMI. I mean, God darn, what a strong team. And this is evident of their desire to help our veterans here at home get what they need, get what we are entitled to, those services that are missing, and I'll tell you, there's a lot of them missing. As I look at the governor, because earlier Karina said who here wants to see a hospital bill, and I got hands and yays go up. Well, the main purpose of that is to service our community, but also service our veterans. So I ask that in lieu of this initiative, be part of the solution, go out there and find your classmates, your cousins and aunties that have never registered with us. And they're out there. They're out there. Encourage them to go down to the SN office and register. Encourage them to go to the CBOC and register. As Karina had indicated, there's going to be a kickoff meeting. But within that kickoff meeting, I will get with them too to strategize how we're going to go forward and make this a reality so that we do not, just come here and do a proclamation and nothing happens. What I foresee is I like the initiative where we're reaching out to all the mayors, but what I like to do too is to be able to be answerable back to you all that probably every week or once a month at the end of the month to say, this is how many newly registered veterans we have done for this month. So we got 12 months to do that. So with that said, because I want to save some time for the governor, she deserves more time of speech than I do. For the veterans, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your service. Thank you for everything you do. Your service is not done. I'm asking you again to help us seek those out there that have not come forward to seek help. And many of them do not know that they're entitled. Thank you for HMI. Thank you for everyone for being here and believing that this is the path forward to creating a larger number and a true number for our veterans count on Guam. Sizos Masi.
Sizos Masi, Director. And before I give the floor to our governor, I do want to acknowledge the presence of Santa Rita Mayor Dalvarez in the back. So as our director alluded to, let's give the floor now to the governor, Lourdes A. Leongra Magahagan Guahon, for her remarks.
Thank you very much, Crystal. Hafaday. Welcome to this, I think, very creative proclamation. And I think this is the first we've ever done this. And when the idea was presented to me, I thought it was a great idea. Because you see, what happens with proclamations is the community is made aware that this is a beginning of some very serious work ahead. And of course, that is registering our veterans. There's official numbers that go around 23,000, sometimes 27,000, but we don't really capture all the veterans because I know there are many veterans that either are so frustrated. They don't want to register. They feel that they haven't been really addressed in their needs. I ask you to please reconsider that, because we need to get the numbers to Washington, D.C. We need to get the numbers to those people that can provide more the resources and the help for veterans. And I know that I have mentioned in public that I met with the Secretary of the Veterans Affairs, and he personally assured me that benefits aren't going to be impacted. And I'm sure Congressman Jim Moylan also can reaffirm that. But we can't take everything for granted. We need to do our own work here. And in order for us to really protect our services and the benefits to you, we need to show force, because that's what is heard in DC, is to show force, not just in Pentagon, not just in Congress, but also in the White House. And everyone, if we all just get together, we will see those numbers go up. I also want to just say thank you to all the committees of veterans, various. I know there's multitude of committees out there and community outreach work. And if we can get all that energy and outreach work and filter it also to the Guam Veterans Affairs Office, because they are the officially recognized state agency for us here in Guam, so we can support also the work that they do, and also so you can be able to get your benefits and able to get the services. And I appreciate all the work that the community outreach organizations do to get that, and all the efforts that they do. But we need to all work together as one, like Joe had said, because if we don't, we are really losing a great opportunity. There's a lot of attention out here in Guam now. A lot of attention. You see it in the media. You see it in traditional media. You see it in MSNBC. You see it in Fox News. You see it in all those national media outlets. There's a great attention to Guam. We need to take that opportunity to our advantage. And how we do that is we unite. I know there's a lot of differences among various veterans, but if we can set that aside with the one goal to get registered, and let's use this proclamation as a springboard to get that going, we'll go a long, long way. Because if I say to DC, hey, I have 100,000 veterans out here, right? And it's not just Guam. We need to look at CNMI. We need to look at Palau. We need to look at RMI. We need to look at FSM, and even in the Philippines, because those are the ones that are going to gather those numbers to make us a whole forceful unit. We need to show force, because that's what's going to be heard in DC. And we can work through our congressman too. He needs all the support that we can give him to make his bills and legislation forward that are supportive of veterans. And so veterans are very strong. You know, you guys were out there and you fought. Some of you gave your lives for freedom and democracy. And I think if we take that strength and that same commitment, that same passion for democracy and freedom, we will get what we need. The message out there is that veterans here in Guam need to have the attention, and they need to be made a priority. That message is sent in Hawaii. That message is sent in DC. And when I was talking to the Secretary of Veterans Affairs, I mentioned to him that what I wanted to do was build a hospital and have the Veterans Clinic co-share the location. He said that that's the trend that he wants to see, because he's looking also in the rural America where there's not that much resources in terms of healthcare for veterans, to also partner with community rural hospitals. And that's exactly what he wants to also push forward. So we're at a good advantage here. But in order for me to have some strength, I need all of your voices. And for those that are watching, please reconsider. Go down to the Veterans Office and register, or go to one of the community outreach organizations, HMI and other ones. I know 671 is another one. I can't remember all of them, but there's several community outreach that will be accessible for you to register. And so, as I proclaim this day, let's give it the significance and the strength behind it. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for all your service. Thank you for your passion for protecting our island, our nation, and also our freedom and democracy, because we won't be where we are today in our freedom if it wasn't for all of you. Sedus Masi, and have a happy Easter.
Thank you so much, Governor. And now for the reading and the signing of the proclamation, I want to call to the podium for our readers today, Mary Uggan and Joy Manabusan.
Proclamation number 2025-40, a proclamation of the governor proclaiming 2025 as the year of the veteran count/registry. Whereas the people of Guam hold in the highest regard the commitment, sacrifices, and service of our veterans who have diligently worked to safeguard our nation and its core values. Whereas courageous men and women from across our nation have throughout history selflessly risked their lives to protect freedom, democracy, and the principles that define the United States. Whereas we have deep respect for the veterans who have bravely served in defense of this nation, its people, and our cherished liberties.
Whereas Guam has one of the highest rates of veterans per capita in the nation, with an estimated 7,500 veterans residing in Guam out of a population of only 154,000 people. Whereas it is of utmost importance to establish and maintain a comprehensive veteran registry, ensuring that all veterans living on Guam are recognized, supported, and provided with the essential services they deserve. And whereas the creation of this registry will be critical in connecting veterans with available benefits, programs, and community support, fostering a deeper level of integration across government and community services.
Now, therefore, I, Lourdes de Leon Guerrero, Magahagan Guahan, Governor of Guam, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Organic Act of Guam as amended, do hereby proclaim 2025 as the year of the Veteran Count Registry, in witness whereof, and together with the Segundo Magalahin Guahan, Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio, we have affixed the Great Seal of Guam in the capital village of Aganya on this 18th day of April, in the year of our Lord, Anno Domini 2025. Viva to the veterans!
Thank you so much to our readers, Miss Mary and Joey. Thank you so much. And to, of course, our governor. Now for the group photo. We're going to do something different. Our photographer will come here and take the photo this way. So if our front row here, the table governor, vice speaker, director, Tony, and delegate, if we can turn around. The photographers, this is less work for most of the people in the room. Again, thank you so much for joining us on this Good Friday, and we hope you have a blessed Easter weekend ahead.